20-year-old, that's nonsense. I saw Michael with my own eyes, and he wasn't looking fit. He didn't look healthy, and he was overweight. So I don't understand how, the insurance company had a doctor examine him, and the results are that he's as healthy as a 20-year-old. That is not true. I don't think any doctor could say that. Unfortunately, he was surrounded by people who didn't necessarily have his well-being in mind.
I remember I once asked him, Michael, are you a lonely man? And he looked up at me and he said, it took him 10 seconds to say what he said. And he said, Roy Gatter, I'm a very lonely man.
There are claims that Michael Jackson had agreed to perform only 10 concerts rather than 50. Those close to him have differing opinions.
Michael didn't sign up to do 50 concerts. He said that to me, that he only thought he was doing 10. He kept on saying that. He didn't, that's not what he thought he was doing. And it kind of angered him that he was, in some ways forced to do 50 concerts.
Well, this is what I can understand, because when I was with Michael when we went to the O2 together, he phoned me up and said, come along, I'm doing this announcement. It's like, yeah, sure, okay. I drove up to London and we went in the bus up to the O2 where he was going to announce the dates of the concert, and he was told he was doing 50 days. So I don't know where him not knowing that came from, because he was always aware he was going to be doing 50, but it wasn't 50. When I first got 50 days, oh my God, how are you going to do that? But it wasn't like they were every night. There were gaps.
Michael Jackson did not take doing 10 concerts for his performances. I follow this logically. Okay, so they come to you, promoters, all right, and promoters are promoters. So they say, Michael, we're going to do 10 shows, and we need an option for the other 40. So Michael will go, oh, okay, and he'll sign up and he'll do the 10, and we'll give him an option for the other 40. And then Michael needs to believe that he's God, and that everyone's going to pay to see Michael Jackson do the songs and dances that he once did in 1984. He was totally in control, trying to do the impossible.
Michael Jackson was very much up for the 50, and Michael Jackson was very much in control of 50. I'm not picking sides. I know some family members are angry, and I don't upset anybody. But my opinion of it is Michael was excited to know that he was that loved, that much in demand. And why would he come out of bed for 10?
He couldn't perform those shows. That's my instinct, that's my belief.
It was like a child waiting for Christmas with these O2 concerts. I mean, he was absolutely geared up, focused. I've never seen Michael like in that state before, and it was absolutely wonderful. I was really pleased to see him so energized by this. After Michael announced the concerts, he stayed in London, and my family came up, and we spent the weekend with Michael before he flew back to the States. He was in a really good, positive mood. I mean, he was in such a positive frame of mind. Best I've seen him for a long time. And it was so reassuring, and we had big plans. He was going to come to London, and it was over the school holidays, and the kids were all going to get together and have loads of free time, and things we were going to do, and all these plans we had. He was just so positive. He told me his children had never seen him perform. They'd seen, obviously, video and DVD footage of him on stage, but they'd never actually seen him live, none of his children. So this was something he not only was doing for his fans, but mainly for his children.
Probably no celebrity has been as revered and reviled over the past 40 years as much as Michael Jackson. Since his arrival on the scene in 1963 as the cherubic 5-year-old singing phenomenon with his brothers in the teen heartthrob group Jackson 5, he has been at the forefront of pop culture.
Michael started at the age of 5, I started at the age of 5. So, we were always kind of comparing. Obviously, Michael's fame was infinitely more than mine, but having been in the spotlight at such an early age, he used to share memories about our early times. Because, you know, when these teeny rock magazines came out, were in the States, I don't know if these still exist, there's one called Tiger Beat, I think, and 17. There were 4 people that used to feature, and one of them was Michael, who obviously dominated. Donny Osmond, David Cassidy, myself, and Jack Wild. So there was 5 who, not always, but were kind of the ones that were shown most in these magazines. And Michael would pick up these magazines, and quite often there would be a page of Michael, and the next page would be me. So he kind of thought there was some sort of parallelism between us. He did tell me that he enjoyed the film Oliver, and it was his favourite musical, and it remained his favourite musical all his life, which was kind of odd coming from Michael, who has dominated the pop charts for so long and made so many wonderful records. For him to tell me that this was his favourite musical was something else, it was quite an honour, really.
The Jackson 5 brothers were the eldest sons in a family of 9 children. Born in Gary, Indiana, the steelworker Joe Jackson and his wife, Catherine. Strict disciplinarian Joe recognized his son's talent and molded them into a singing group, one that would be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1997.
I've met Joe a few times. It's the part of Michael that they are so totally different, like chalk and cheese. Michael is probably like the complete opposite. If you look at his background, he's come from, basically, he was a welder in a very poor town in mid-America, and has been catapulted through on the back of his children into some huge stardom.
I think Joe didn't do what he did, there would have been no Michael Jackson. I'm not one of these people that say, point the finger at the father. He took a very poor family, took a talent that he saw, and he gave it to the world.
He wasn't forced to work. You can't force someone to work. Because if you force them to work in their performance is going to be horrible. You may be able to force them to go pick cotton. You may be able to force them to go lift these things. But you can't force them to give a performance. He lived for the performance. It was his adulation. It was his spiritual drug, or whatever you want to call it.
He did discuss his childhood with me, and I think that he's been quite open about his childhood. In terms of his relationship with his father, I think what the public doesn't know is that he forgave his father. His brothers were hurt that was caused, and at the end of his life, he was very much in good terms with his father. So I think that a lot of the things that they happened a long time ago, and Michael forgave.
Michael Jackson was to transform pop music as a solo act, becoming the first African-American singer to gain mass appeal. Thriller, released in 1982, remains the best-selling album of all time. Michael Jackson won 13 Grammy Awards, made boundary-breaking videos, and his slick dance moves were imitated by fans and pop stars around the globe. During his life, he sold an estimated 750 million records, a figure that is likely to rise with the posthumous re-release of his hits. On the 27th of January 1984, a pyrotechnics accident during the filming of a Pepsi ad resulted in Michael suffering second-degree burns to the head. Plastic surgery was required to restore his appearance. Brian Oxman, Jackson family lawyer, claims the medication prescribed to Michael Jackson during this time led to